Texting. Welcome back to a luxurious, but yet a bit solemn Friday here, our last afternoon in Falmouth, the glorious Falmouth on the Cape, glorious Cape Cod here in the glorious state of Massachusetts, in the glorious country of the United States, on the glorious North American continent. I am RJ, the slightly above average, sometimes below average, sometimes questionable, always questionable. Very stubborn. Miliaccio. Welcome to a special edition of IDD. Again, those in the know, that is I Don't Disagree. The non-competitive, very bitter sports talk show. Surrounding itself usually around Boston, New York sports fan bases. My co-host Tom Izzo will be returning Sunday night. We will be live from the SAC. This is our last take here from the northeast part of the country here, as we are leaving later on for the journey back south. I don't know if you noticed, there's a very adorable face to my left. Why don't you introduce yourself to the world?
Hi, I'm Mia. I'm his daughter.
And how old are you?
10.
10 going on
11.
30, but who's counting? Anyway, my daughter has been very, privately or patiently asking me for a few weeks now to do a little segment on this show with me. So this is Daddy-Daughter segment day. Thoughtful Friday in the nation for the Lapers. Hopefully the weekend has started for all of you by now, although it's 4 o'clock, so we're getting on that 5 o'clock hour, so happy hour approaches. Somewhere I read it was illegal. Ha! Illegal, schmeagle. You know what happens at 5 o'clock on a Friday? I know what happens at 5 o'clock on a Friday. And someday, not too soon, she probably will too. But anyway, we are here on Friday. My daughter is joining me for a Daddy-Daughter segment. The topic will be football today. As training camp started, as you know, on Wednesday, the Patriots are back. That is my daughter's favorite team, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, just make sure we got that cleared up. And we're going to discuss a couple things today in our segment. One, favorite players, because she has a couple of them. And she's got a bit of I wanted to clarify this to you, to the viewers out there, because I'm a bit thrown off myself. I think I get it, but I don't get it. So we're going to go over her favorite football players. I'm not going to give her a top 10 or a top 5, because as I understand it, there's only 3 of them. So the list is 3 as far as we know.
Well,
is right?
I haven't ordered the rest of the players.
No, but there are 3 that you know of, right?
I know more than 3, but these are my top 3.
These are the top 3. Okay, so we're not doing top. This is Mia's top 3. Okay, so Mia, please, the floor is yours. Tell me.
Sorry.
Who?
Did you say that?
Even my phone, even my watch is curious as to what my daughter's about to say here, as I'm sure the rest of you are. So, Mia, please tell us your favorite 3 players. Give me the order and tell me why.
So second is Gronk, because I said this to my dad before we started filming. One, because I was afraid of him when I was younger.
Why is that, child?
I even said when we were at one of their practices, Dad, I think Gronk's going to eat little Julian. And I was freaking out. I thought he was going to eat him.
That's a true story, ladies and gentlemen.
And then in first...
Well, hold on. We should tell them the tale. Remember the story? You remember what happened? Exactly what happened?
Kind of.
So, this is actually pretty good. So, I took them to their first training camp. It was about 5 years ago? 5 years ago.
Maybe 6.
5 or 6 years ago. They were coming off a Super Bowl win. And I had my son, who was 2, not quite 3 yet. Mia had just turned 5. And we went to the training camp. And the players were coming up for the first time. And they got down to the last 3 players. I think I know where this list started. And Julian came out first, got a rousing ovation, because I think it was the Super Bowl they beat Atlanta, and he had that catch will live on in infamy, that great catch that he had. The performance in general, he was phenomenal that day, as most of you who saw that game know. And then Tom Brady came out, which of course, if there was a roof, it was blown off the field. Everybody went nuts. But then, interestingly enough, in a vain attempt to one-up Tom Brady, Gronk came out last. And to also a rousing ovation, and Brady and Edelman were ribbing up with him, and people were laughing because they knew what he was trying to do, and they were having a good time. I don't know if it was choreographed, but it was funny anyway. And then a moment happened where they ran to the sideline, and Gronk, who is 6'7", for those of you who don't know, I am 6'4". So my daughter's used to seeing tall people in her life. But Gronk is slightly bigger, taller than I am, and a lot bigger. I'm about 225. He's about 265. So he's a much larger man. But Julian Edelman, who I think was listed at 5'10", is not 5'10". He's lucky if he's 5'8". So Gronk comes over, stands next to Julian Edelman, and at that moment, my little girl, who I was holding up to see them, cried out in horror and said, and what did you say?
Dad, Gronk's a little Julian.
She said, Gronk monster, because Gronk is my son's favorite player, by the way. You might meet him on Sunday because he's going to demand a Sun segment, so why not? In any event, Gronk monster was what they called him back then. And
we still do.
And you still do. And when he stood next to Julian, 6'7", 5'8", you can imagine where the imagination of a 5-year-old girl went. And so my response after I finished laughing was not to worry, sweets. Gronk only eats up opponents. Which, if you've ever seen Gronk play, you know that also to be true. So that's the story behind it.
I really do remember that moment because I believe Tom Brady was in like a bright yellow
practice jersey,
and he was way down. Mm-hmm. And I do remember it.
You remember that, right?
Pretty well.
Yeah. So that was our first experience up close with the Patriots. It was a great day. It was a fun day. And for me as a father, to take your kids to see a team you grew up, 10 minutes from the stadium, it's kind of a cool thing when you're a dad. You get to do that with your kids. And I just didn't expect anything like that. But that's part of the fun, isn't it? So when we get Anthony on here, he'll tell you a story about him and the Patriots cheerleaders, which is almost as funny. So anyway, that's where the top 3 list came from. That's where top 2. That's Gronk. So Gronk is number 2.
First.
Who's your first?
Is Tom Brady and Julian Edelman. I can't pick between them. I don't know why.
This is.
I don't.
You can't have them both. You got to pick one or the other.
Well, I can't.
You have to bump Gronk down to 3 because technically you can do that.
But I don't know who I'd put as second. I mean, maybe I'd put.
Who do you think in your lifetime you're going to relate to more? Little Julian Edelman or Tom Brady, who's my size?
I don't know. Julian Edelman?
Probably Julian Edelman. Just a thought.
I don't know.
He's about the same height as your mom.
Still, I don't know who's my favorite player.
Okay, so.
I like them both.
Okay. For different reasons, I assume.
Wait, I kind of forgot what position he played.
Which one?
Which one do you think? It's not Tom Brady.
He's a quarterback.
He's a receiver.
He's a receiver.
He's
a receiver. He's a receiver.
I thought he was a receiver, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, he was Brady's go-to guy. Him and Gronk were his 1A targets when they were here together. Yeah, so he was Brady's number 1, and Gronk was his number 1A. Okay, much like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
Right.
Shameless plug. We love you, Jaylen. Stay put. Anyway, so you can't decide without an easy choice. I understand that they're both legends in Patriot lore. They're both multiple Super Bowl winners. Actually, Julian won a Super Bowl MVP.
Did?
Yeah, him and Deion Branch are the only 2 players not named Tom Brady to win Super Bowl MVP. Brady has won 4 Super Bowl MVPs with the Patriots. He won his 5th Super Bowl MVP with Tampa Bay. So other than Tom Brady winning 4 of them, it was Deion Branch and then Julian Edelman. So Brady's go-to guys in their respective eras. So I understand that. I do. But Tom is still playing.
I know that.
Yes, I hope you know that. And Tom is not done. Tom is not.
I know. Julian Edelman and Gronk retired, right?
They did. Yes. There's hope that maybe Gronk comes back.
I hope Julian comes back. I don't care about Gronk. I like Julian to come
Gronk
back.
comes back. He's not coming back to the Patriots. Do you think there's a chance Julian comes back to the Patriots?
I don't care which team they come back to. I just want them to come back.
You want Julian to come back? All right, you hear that, Julian, wherever you are? My daughter is demanding a comeback, an encore performance, if you will. Be it in Tampa or...
about Gronk. I want Julian to come back.
But that hurt. Why are you saying that about Gronk?
Because I thought he was going to eat him.
He didn't eat him. They were teammates.
Still.
They won championships together. They're brothers.
Still.
They're brothers from a not-so-adjacent mother. You haven't heard me... Never mind. Anyway, so... You don't care about Gronk.
I care about Gronk, but not as much as Julian and Tom.
Gronk, this is not me talking. I don't want to. If I ever get a letter, an email, or start texting you, I don't want to hear it. Okay, this is not. This is a 10-year-old.
I mean, he's still one of my favorite players.
He's numbered. He's your second or third, whatever the heck this list of yours is.
He's just not my favorite.
He's your top 3, though.
Technically, my top 2.
Well, I think Gronk would be okay with that. I think Happy being in your top 3. It's hard to get in the top 3. So there's no shame in that, right, Gronk? There's no shame in being in the top 3. I mean, if you know.
Also, about Mac Jones, I don't know what I think about him yet.
You don't know?
I don't know what I think about him. He might be in my 4th or 5th.
Well,
probably my 4th because I forget most of the players day after day.
Just so you know, if you're she saw this, but
so what?
Well, Mac let him to the playoffs last year in his first year. The Patriots.
Oh yeah.
That's a good thing. Okay.
Oh gosh.
Yep. The BBD. Never mind.
What?
So Mac.
The reason he's probably my 4th favorite player is because I forget some of the Patriot players.
Well, a lot of them are new. Mac is the quarterback.
I don't really pay attention.
You should know Mac.
I don't pay attention to all of them. I pay attention to some of them. I mainly pay attention to the quarterbacks and running back. What are they called?
What a surprise. What about Devin McCourty? You know who he is?
Who?
Devin McCourty. He's the Patriots'
Never heard of
safety. He won 3.
Never heard of him.
Matthew Slater?
Nope.
All right,
Never.
Well, these guys are, all right, well, we're going to do a little education for my daughter. Devin McCourty is a 3-time Super Bowl champion with the Patriots. He is the starting
Wait, he's been here for 3 years and you never told me about him?
He's been here for 13 years.
13 and you never told me about him?
Oh, I mentioned him before. You just didn't remember.
No, I just didn't listen.
Well, that too. Okay. And then Matthew Slater is arguably the greatest special teams player in the history of the NFL. He's made the Pro Bowl like 10 times.
What position?
Kickoffs and kick returns, things like that.
The thing where you do the kick one?
Yep.
The kicker?
Yep. He's not the kicker,
I know.
He runs down and tackles the other team. He's a tackler.
Why did you say kicker?
No, he's on the kickoff coverage team.
I thought you meant he was the kicker. Who's the kick? Who's the kicker?
The kicker now. Who is the kicker now?
You don't even know.
Well, it was Gronkowski for years, but they changed it up last year. Who was the guy? You know, we're going to find this out. We have the power of technology here, boys and girls. So we're going to find who the current Patriots kicker is on the roster, because what he being me being I. What a terrible host. We did not know who that kicker, the current one, because they had a kicker last year who actually had a very good year. But what we got to do is we got to pull up their roster, which I'll do right now. And then, so the kicker, hold on, we'll figure out here's the roster. Current roster. All right, so if you're looking for the kicker, let's see here. Where is he? What's his name? They don't have positions just to do kicker, tight end. Who's the kicker?
How many tight ends are there?
There's a few. But this is the preseason roster, so hold on. Long snapper. Nick Folk is the place kicker.
Still never heard of him.
Well, last year was his first year with the team. So
that explains it.
So, but he had a heck of a year. He's been in the league. 37 years old. He's been around a long time. Yeah, been around a long time. Devin McCourty, the one I was telling you about.
Wait, how old was Tom Brady when he started?
22.
Oh. Yeah. Dang it, I already forgot his name. The kicker.
Nick Folk?
Yeah. Did he play on other teams before?
Yes, he did.
Okay. That makes sense, because I was going to say, he's only starting at 37?
No, he's starting for the Patriots, but he's been on other teams before.
I was going to say, if he's only starting professional football at that age, I thought most players started at
Players don't start a football career at 37. Let's just say that.
I know, that's why I was like...
So anyway, yeah, so he's the kicker. Devin McCourty is in his 13th, going to his 14th year out of Rutgers. He has been a part of the last 3 championships. He's basically the quarterback on defense.
Who did he play before this?
He's only been a Patriot his whole career. That's it.
But you just said this was his first year.
No. Yeah. I said Nick Folk last year was his first year with the Patriots, but he being the kicker. Devin McCourty's been here for 13 years.
Oh no! So, who was he? The kicker. Who was he? What team? What was the team before the Patriots?
I don't know. I don't know where he came from. The other guy I was talking about, who was coming back for us last year, he's a receiver technically, but he's like the 5th receiver on his name is Matthew Slater. He is in his 15th year out of UCLA, all with the Patriots, regarded by many as the greatest special teams player of all time. So he's on the coverage team, he's on the punt return team, he's been a Patriot his whole career. He's made the Pro Bowl 9 times as a special teamer. 9 times. That's amazing, okay? And he's won 3 world championships. So Matthew Slater is the longest tenured Patriot, and then Devin McCourty.
Okay.
So now you know those 2 guys, and they've been Patriots for life.
So I want to
learned something today.
So I want to get into
you're making progress here,
I want to
folks.
get into one of the reasons I actually wanted to be on the show today.
Oh, here we go.
One
of the reasons?
One is Belichick.
Oh boy. Oh, you don't ask for it now, Bill. I can't save you anymore. Not that I was trying.
I am not that big of a sports fan. Like, I like sports, but I'm not nearly as big as a sports fan as this guy, or my brother, or any of my uncles, as a matter of fact, or anyone in the house.
Or the dog.
Or the dog. But anyway. When I heard he let Brady go, I was mad. I've never been that mad before. I was really mad.
I don't know where she gets this from. I wouldn't know. Any suggestions? I have no idea.
I cannot believe he let him go. I am so mad. Oh, also, like a week ago when I was asking him to let me be on the show, I forgot the team that Tom Brady's on right now. I remember it now, but I forgot it.
I'm afraid to ask. You right now? Who is it?
Tampa Bay.
Okay, thank God. Yeah, all right, you got that one right. Score 1 up. There you go.
But
got one.
I can't believe he let him go. I've been so mad ever since the day I found out he left. I've been so mad because I'm like, he's like my favorite player, and he's gone. Well, he's not gone, but he's not on our team anymore. Like, what the heck? I don't even think I heard of Tampa Bay until I heard that Tom Brady switched teams. To be honest.
At least you're being honest.
But
we pride ourselves on honesty here, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing else.
So I was I'm still mad.
Still mad.
You should have heard my dad when he found out.
They have a lot.
I thought my eardrums were broken.
No,
I thought
they're
they
not.
popped.
So you're still ticked off. You're still ticked off at BB for letting TB12 go. Okay, I get that. But we got Mac.
So
Mac is pumped.
He's nothing compared to Tom Brady.
He's only been here 1 year.
So
you got to give him.
He's never going to be as good as Tom Brady. No one is.
Well, that's not.
Everyone knows that.
That doesn't mean Mac can't be great. Doesn't mean Mac.
Doesn't mean
Mac.
But it does mean he can't be Tom Brady.
Well, no, but look. If I'm Mac Jones,
my favorite player, my 2 favorite players that are tied for first place aren't even playing for my team anymore.
What is that about fury and a woman's scorn? I forget the saying, but I think we're looking at it right now, folks, the young version of it. So this starts at a young age. Anyway, here's the thing.
They're not on the team anymore.
I know. Listen.
I don't have a favorite Patriot anymore.
Mac Jones. I just gave you Matthew Slater, Devin McCourty. I just gave you 3 possible names.
Oh, wait. Come here.
You can't, no, we're on camera. You can't whisper. You have to, whatever you say, you say. There's no whispering.
Was it his first or middle name?
Oh. This was our prior episode. Tom Izzo somewhere knows where she's going with this. We discovered Mac Jones's middle name. Mac, I love you. This doesn't change the fact that I love you. But when this came up, and we looked up
That's what he looks like.
That's Mac Jones. That's him right there. Yeah. So he had a great first season. So if you go to his bio, does it say his full name? I would say it's his full name.
I heard his middle name and I couldn't stop laughing.
He was born in Jacksonville, Florida, just so you know.
Florida,
Yep.
so he's used to heat.
Yeah. So where the heck did the full name? See, it doesn't give the full name here. They hide it on purpose. But if it's McCorkle, something like that.
Can't even pronounce.
I think it's McCorkle. Matthew McCorkle Jones, I think is what it is. Doesn't change how I feel about you.
It doesn't. It's just hilarious.
It's just you know.
I'm sorry, I can't.
So much for proper etiquette.
I'm 10. What?
Oh, you're gonna play the 10 card now?
No, I'm not gonna play the 10 card now. I'm gonna play the me card now.
Play the 10 card.
Have you met me?
Probably. More than one.
This is never gonna be how the normal episodes are gonna be.
There's no such thing as normal in this sports talk show.
There's no such thing as normal.
There's no thing as normal.
We've never seen normal before.
We don't apply to it. So anyway, Mac Jones is currently your fourth. You said fourth favorite player. Maybe.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Fourth, because I don't.
So what I was about to say before you cut me off was that
Sorry.
Mac Jones might still have a great career. He's not. No one expects him to be. Let's be fair here.
No one expects him to be Tom Brady.
No one does. Tom Brady's won a lifetime.
But he at least. I'm still disappointed in.
Okay,
I'm not disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed in Bill.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this: what if Mac Jones wound up winning 3 or 4 Super Bowls here? Would you be happy then?
I wouldn't be mad. But I wouldn't be over. I wouldn't be through the roof. I would be happy. I would be happy.
If they won another 3 or 4 Super Bowls with Mac as quarterback, you'd find it in your heart.
I'd be happy. Okay. I just wouldn't be as happy as if it was Tom Brady.
Well, no, because I understand he was.
Or Julian Edelman. Or Gronk.
Look, to be fair, when Larry Bird retired, I thought the world ended as a fan. But what I've
never seen Larry Bird play.
No,
I'm only 10.
But my point is that there will be others.
You were in like college or high school when he retired, right?
When Larry Bird retired, I was 19.
So college?
Yes. And it was. I remember where I was when it happened. I think a lot of people who are Boston Celtics fans knew where they were the day that happened. Those who remember him or saw him. So I thought they would never. And then Paul Pierce came along, and then Kevin Garnett came along.
Who's Paul Pierce and who's Carver?
They're Celtic Hall of Famers. They've had their numbers retired. They won a championship in 2000.
Never heard of them.
Well, no, but you weren't alive when they won.
You never told me about them.
No, but I'm telling you now.
That's on you that I never heard
I'm
about
telling you now. Okay? They're Celtic Hall of Famers.
Do you expect Mom to tell me about him?
Mom's favorite player was Kevin Garnett.
And she never told me about him?
Apparently no. His nickname was the Big Ticket. The Big Ticket.
I mean, you're big draws. I get that. But I mean, the Big Ticket. What? What's the Big Ticket?
He's a lot bigger than Big Draws. I can tell you that right now.
But why the Big Ticket? What's going on with the word ticket in there?
Because he was bought. Because must see TV. The Big Ticket. Okay, the Big Ticket. I don't know who gave him the nickname. That was just his nickname when he came here. So anyway, he won a league MVP in 2004 with Minnesota Timberwolves. That was his other team before he came to Boston. And so.
Wait. So. How many years ago did he retire?
Oh, like 5 or 6.
Because he's obviously not playing now.
No,
so he was playing when I was alive.
No, they won the title. The year you were born, they got to the finals in 2010, and they lost to the Lakers in 7 games. Then he played one more year with Boston, then he got moved the year after that. So anyway, but he was here for 5. He was here for 7 years, 5, 6, 7, whatever it was. And had a great time, great career here. Was a Hall of Famer before he got here. But anyway, now you know who he is. And Paul Pierce was here from the get-go. And so my point is that when you lose a player like that, I know it seems like sometimes the sky can be falling, but there will.
But I'm 10. But it's worse for me.
All you know.
I've hardly seen any other quarterbacks.
You haven't seen any other quarterbacks. All you know is Tom Brady, and then you had Cam.
Exactly.
Newton. You had Cam Newton for 1 year, and now we have Mac Jones. Okay, remember Cam Newton?
I completely forgot about him.
Well, we only
I know who he is. I just.
He was only here for 1 year.
He was completely erased from my memory in the last.
Yeah, because last year they drafted Mac Jones. He was highly drafted. He came in with a lot of hype. He lived up to it. They got to the playoffs. He's done well so far. There's potential here. That's what I'm saying. So there's reason to be optimistic about Mac Jones. That's all I'm saying. I don't expect you to love him the way you love Tom Brady. That's not fair.
I mean, he's a good player.
Yeah, he could be.
He's a pretty good player.
He could be a great player if he keeps working on it. He's only going into his 2nd year. You never know. You never know.
We have his thing up, his roster thingy up on the screen, and I'm like,
yep, that's him.
He kind of looks like Tom Brady from here.
Funny you say that. Some people would say he plays like him. We can only hope.
And I've never actually, I don't know what he looks like I've never seen what he looks like until now.
So now that you've seen him, because I know when you saw him play, he had a face mask on, it was hard to see him. Now you can see him. So, kind of looks like Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right, fair
kind of the smile and the hair.
That winning smile? The winning smile?
Who said anything about winning smile?
You know he won a national championship at Alabama.
And your point is, was it the Patriots?
No, but he wasn't
here.
Then
why should I care?
You know what's scary? You sound more like me every day, and it's scaring the hell out of me. Anyway, we're going to close this segment off. I want to thank my daughter for spending some time with us today. What?
Wait, I need to say something real quick.
Am I going to be...
This is completely off topic, by the way, but it's about sports in general.
I can use you. Hold on. We went 25 minutes pretty much on topic. This is a record. So if this happens now, we're winning. We're winning.
So this is a little bit off topic, but when players get drafted, it makes me kind of mad because they have no say in what team they get drafted for or anything. And I know they're excited to be drafted. What if it's not the team they wanted to be on, you know? I feel like
the way it's set up. You're lucky.
I just get kind of mad for it.
You certainly have to stay there for if you don't want to.
I know, it's just...
Once their contracts are up, they can leave and go to free agency and get drafted by, or go to another team, maybe the one they want. So it's not forever if they don't want to stay.
I know, I just feel like it's not fair for them.
The deal is when you come into the league, you're drafted by who you're drafted by. There's nothing that says you have to stay there for your entire career. You don't have to. So they have the choice. They have the choice to stay or to leave after a certain period.
How long is the contracts mainly? Like average?
If it depends, if they're drafted high, it's usually a...
But what's the average?
The average contract? In the NFL?
Yes.
Probably 3 to 4 years.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's really not.
But I mean, it could be.
No, but...
Because I mean, if my brother played in the NFL and he didn't get drafted for the Patriots, I'm sure he would be very, 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 very mad.
Well, he'd be mad until he saw the size of the contract that he was getting paid. And he probably wouldn't be so mad anymore.
That's the only thing he would care about if he wasn't on the Patriots team. The money.
I think that's true of most. This is your career, what you want to do for a
It's
living.
mainly true for him.
The money's a big part of it. The money's a big part of it, sure. I don't think he's any different than anybody, would be different than anybody else in that regard. But, I mean, there are players that, if their favorite team is the one that drafted them, they sometimes end up on that team eventually. So they have the option, or they choose to stay because they find out when they get there that actually it's better than they thought, they like it, and they want to stay after that time. And that happens a lot.
Or something that also could happen, it probably doesn't that much, but you get drafted for the team you want and you hate it there.
That happens too. That does happen too. And that's the bad side.
You might not like the people, maybe they're not that nice in person.
Well, there's a lot of things that go into that.
That's why people say never meet your heroes.
Never what?
Don't meet your heroes.
Why?
Sometimes they're not what they
are. They're not what you think they are.
Not what you think they are, not what they're cut out to be.
Well, that's true, because if you only see them on camera, you only see them, working on their craft. You don't see them away from the game as a person. So maybe as a person, they're different than you think they are. Yeah, that's happened too. Sure. That's a fair point. So
that's...
That was your rant?
No, I'm not
Is that
finished.
it? You have it? I shouldn't.
Oh, wait, before I continue, you have to bring Cabo on the show.
What?
I'm serious! You have to bring him on the show! If you're wondering who Cabo is, I'll make you. You'll definitely find out in the future. No. You're going to have to let me on in another segment, and I'll bring him out, and I'll put him on my lap.
I am not putting our dog on TV.
Yes, you're putting the dog on TV!
No!
I'm going to squeeze him. He won't do a
You understand he can't speak, right?
So that doesn't mean...
So there's really no dialogue.
That doesn't mean he can't give an opinion.
He can't talk. What opinion could he give? And if he tried to give an opinion, how would I know what the heck it is?
I would know what it is.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
No, you would not.
I understand the dog more than you ever will. Hey, that's the truth.
When we were doing a sound check, I said on camera, not live, but this one, I said, for those of you, anybody aspiring to do sports talk radio, anything like that, don't do what I'm about to do. You are now seeing why.
Don't listen to him.
That, and I'm saying it for the second time.
Don't listen.
It's just a friendly warning, because if you do this,
I would love
this is the road you may go down.
I would love to see more kids on sports talk.
I'm sure you would.
I would love to see it.
I'm sure you would.
Kids don't get.
Well, maybe you'll be a trendsetter.
Kids don't get enough credit.
Maybe you'll be a trendsetter. Maybe you'll start a trend.
Kids don't get enough credit.
But maybe we'll see you and go, hey, that's not a bad idea.
Well,
or maybe they'll see you and go, I can't believe he did that. What was he trying to do? Was he trying to lose? What was he doing? What was he thinking there? This isn't even his scheduled time slot. Why is he even doing this?
Because he can't say no to me.
That's not true either.
It is right now.
Cabo will not be on this show. even with that look. Anyway, we have to
Abba
go.
will be on the
We're going to
show.
close this segment.
No, I'm not finished.
What else do you have to rant about?
If I ever see Bill Belichick in person,
No.
and he hasn't apologized to Tom Brady,
Here,
I'll attack him.
They actually hugged it out when Tampa.
That doesn't mean I won't attack him.
That when Tampa came
That
up
doesn't
to
mean
play
I
the
won't
Patriots.
attack him.
But to your point, when Tampa came up to play the Patriots, I guess they had a 30-minute just 1-to-1 behind closed doors. They talked and hugged it out. Apparently that happened.
Why am I making these faces on camera?
Because you're on camera and you realize it. Anyway, we got to go for now. We got to get back to the sack. It was a great week up here. Thanks again to our host with the most, John McCosh. Thanks to all our guests this week, Sean Darcy, Mark Miliacci, my brother Pete,
my godfather,
Pete, and the adorable, the lovely little Miss Mia Lynn Miliaccio. Thank you, my dear, for hosting with me today. I will see you guys Sunday night from the sack. The redoubtable Tom Izzo will be back in full force. Until
that doesn't mean I
have a
won't
great
be.
weekend. Stay safe and don't do anything I would do. Oh, look, there's the other.
Wait, say hi! Say hi! Hi!
That's Anthony. You'll see him later. For now, RJ out. Be good.
Bye!